Now at 6 o'clock, a church in Oregon City catches fire on Christmas Day. Why it was difficult for firefighters to put this fire out. Plus, police are looking for the person caught on camera robbing a thrift store in Southeast Portland. The nonprofit that runs the store says it's actually willing to help the suspect. And later,
they really need to do something, or I think they're going to lose a lot of customers.
We'll have this story for you as well about season pass holders at Stevens Pass in Washington who say they're out hundreds of dollars after Stevens Pass refused to give them refunds, even though it's impossible right now to get to the ski resort. We'll have that story for you coming up as we kick off the 6 o'clock hour of Sunrise right now. Good morning and thanks for joining us on this day after Christmas. I'm Drew Carney and we also have Corey Johnson along for the ride here.
Hello.
Filling in for Rod Hill, taking a look at our Friday forecast.
Yeah, good morning, Drew. We are sitting pretty cloudy across much of our area, but as we get into the later part of the day, going to turn on a little bit of rain in the afternoon. This is our Rose City camera. Cloudy start, 43 degrees currently and a calm wind. Active radar, not terribly active at this hour. Seeing some scattered showers in some spots near Hillsborough, around the Portland area. Sandy, also looking at some near the coast at this time. Keep in mind there is a winter weather advisory in place for the Cascades. That's in place now until tomorrow at 4 in the afternoon. Several inches, between 6 and 11 inches expected between today and tomorrow. A look at temperatures right now sitting in the upper 30s to low 40s, 40 in the Dalles, 43 in Salem, 37 in Longview, Kelso, and 41 in Newport near the coast. But the rain is going to come in around 1 this afternoon. It's going to be light and widespread. I'll break down the timing of it all into our new weekend coming up.
All right, thank you, Corey. Topping our news headlines this morning, investigators are working to figure out what started a Christmas Day fire inside this local church. It happened around 2 o'clock at Reformation Covenant Church in Oregon City. Clackamas Fire says the flames were found between the church's new roof and its old roof underneath, describing it as an unusual situation that made things tough on firefighters. The battalion chief also said that this fire serves as a reminder about knowing your surroundings when you're inside a public venue.
Large congregations like churches or malls or otherwise understand where your exits are at. So if an incident happens and there's some sort of an emergency, you can get out in a quick fashion.
While the investigation into how it started continues, the fire department told us nobody was hurt. Police say 2 people were stabbed in Northeast Portland on Christmas Eve. Both victims were found right around 6 o'clock that night, one near Northeast 30th and Broadway, the other near Northeast 25th and Hancock. It's not clear if the 2 stabbings are connected. We know both victims were taken to the hospital, and there's no word on any suspects or arrests. Starting at noon today, more than 100 advanced practice providers with Legacy Health will vote on whether or not to approve a new tentative agreement that aims to end their 3-week-long strike. The Oregon Nurses Union represents this group of workers that includes nurse practitioners and physician associates at both Legacy Emmanuel and Legacy Good Samaritan hospitals. The union says the new agreement promises pay raises, enhanced compensation for night and extended shifts, and the creation of a committee to address workplace issues. Bargaining between the 2 sides has been going on since April of last year. In a statement, Legacy Health says the agreement is materially consistent with the offer presented on November 20th prior to the strike being announced. Again, workers will begin voting on the deal today at noon, and voting will wrap up by tomorrow at noon. Take a look at what firefighters had to deal with in Washington County on Christmas Eve. A fire broke out at this 2-story home along Roy Rogers Road just after 6:30 that night. And crews ended up going back after they had left because strong winds helped reignite the fire around midnight. Everyone inside did get out safely, but the home suffered extensive damage, so the Red Cross is helping the family who lived there.
It's terrible to see it like this.
Also in Washington County, firefighters had to rescue dozens of birds from this house in Beaverton that also serves as a bird store. The fire happened over a week ago, last Wednesday. All the birds inside were saved and no one was hurt. But the owner of the bird store says this fire basically left her broke. KGW's Jake Holter has more after having a chance to speak to her.
All this stuff is damaged because of smoke and water.
Beverly Moreland has owned and operated Busy Bird Store out of her Beaverton home for more than 20 years.
It's really hard to see my store like this.
She's been a bird lover since she got her first parakeet when she was only 5. And her store was a one-stop shop for food, toys, trims, and even boarding.
And I made bird toys, and I made these white swings right here. I'd made them for many more years before the store. I made some birds like a bed to sleep in. I made those.
So when the fire sparked Wednesday night at her home near Watson and 5th Avenues, she was terrified.
A lot of them did not belong to me, that I was babysitting them, and I was really upset about that.
This body camera video shows firefighters working to rescue the birds still in their cages. Some had to be captured in nets to be moved to safety.
The next thing I know, they were carrying them out. Yep. And that was a big relief, because I was so worried that I was killing someone else's bird.
Fire investigators determined the blaze sparked outside the home and the cause was accidental. And while all the birds, more than 24, survived, Moreland says she and her tenant have been displaced indefinitely, and this is probably the end for her business.
I wasn't ready to close yet. I was going to try to make it 5 more years. I'll decide in a year what I want to do. But you know, because of my age, I don't know if I should start it again, but we'll see.
In total, all 28 birds survived and are being kept in a house down the street, courtesy of a Good Samaritan. Jake Holter, KGW News.
All right, next story here. Police are looking for a man who robbed a Southeast Portland thrift store last weekend. So we're going to show you this video. You can see a man in an orange sweatshirt walking into the Portland Super Thrift Shop on Southeast Foster. He walks through the closing section, and then about a minute or two later, he slowly approaches the front of the store, grabs the cash register you see right here and an iPad, and then he takes off. The thrift store is run by a nonprofit that serves both teenagers and adults who are struggling with addiction or other life challenges. The nonprofit says they'd actually like to see the person responsible caught, but they also want to offer them help if they want it.
There's no way you could ever understand everything that somebody's going through. So having grace in these challenging moments is difficult, but it's something that we strive for on a daily basis. And you know, we're trying to put hope within reach until all live free.
The store says they did recover the iPad that was attached to the register and says the orange sweatshirt that the suspect was wearing was also found. Anyone with information about this should contact Portland Police. All right, let's take a live look outside right now from our Wells Fargo Skycam on this morning after Christmas. Corey Johnson, I was driving home from my Christmas night dinner, and I think I was driving during the 1 hour last night where it was really raining hard. Been pretty dry so far this morning, but I know there is some rain in your forecast as well.
Yes, definitely. We're going to be cloudy for the better part of the morning, but as we get into the afternoon, that's exactly when the rain's going to pick up and be a little bit more widespread, but still rather light across our area. So getting into our temperatures right now, sitting in the upper 30s, lower 40s across many spots, 35 right now in Pendleton, 40 in the Dalles, 36 in Kelso, 43 in Portland, 43 in Salem as well. Getting into our active radar, seeing a few light scattered showers across much of our area, some situated near Hillsborough at this time, as well as Tillamook and other portions near the coast around Lincoln City. This is our Oregon Zoo camera. If you do have some family in town, you want to get out and do some activities, today would be a good day to get to the zoo. Just make sure you bring a light jacket. 41 degrees and cloudy currently there. But a look at futurecasts as we get throughout much of the morning. You can see starting pretty cloudy to start, much of the wetter conditions sitting a little bit to the south. But as we get into the later part of the afternoon, around 1, 2 o'clock, that's when it does really start to slide in that rain band for us. North to south across I-5 is where we'll see it. And then it does taper off. A few scattered showers in Southwest Washington and near the coast as we get into the evening hours tonight. There is a winter weather advisory in place for the Cascades. That's in place now until 4 in the afternoon. Between 6 and 11 inches of snow expected in the mountains. So keep in mind, if you're traveling the mountain passes, it's going to be slick, or it could be, so you'll want to take your time out on the roadway. This is Timberline Lodge sitting at 25 degrees. That snow really coming down. Your hour-by-hour forecast for Portland, it is going to stay in the low 40s until we get to about noon, and then it bumps up to 46. I think our high today will be 47, but I'll break down more of the timing of the rain for the weekend, as well as the cold temperatures we can expect to see headed into a new work week in just a little bit.